Hey guys, so I'm going to go over the central dogma with you guys today. And so basically what the central dogma is that the genotype or the DNA sequence of a particular gene, this then after genotype comes gene expression, and this gene expression results in a protein which causes a phenotype like the purple or like the like the purple or the white pea plant. So essentially the central dogma is DNA to RNA, which is what transcribes it transcribes here the gene from your chromosome. And after you have your RNA, this then gets translated to a protein. So DNA, RNA, protein. And this protein is what causes a phenotype. So let's go over what kind of macromolecules we're seeing in this central dogma. So what macromolecule can be found in DNA and RNA? That is nucleic acids. And what are the monomers of nucleic acids? They are, that's not how you spell that. They are nucleotides. Okay. What is another macromolecule here? Well, that's protein. So, what is the kind of macromolecule that proteins are made out of? Well, protein is a macromolecule, so that's it. But what is the monomer? The monomer of a protein. Those are amino acids. Okay. You also have two other types of macromolecules. You also have lipids. Lipids are fats. They are long hydrocarbon chains. Okay. And if you were to be asked what is the monomer of a lipid, well, that's just a fatty acid chain. And we talked about where we find nucleic acids and proteins because we talked about it in the central dogma, but we can also find lipids everywhere in our body. For example, lipids they compose our cell membrane because it's made out of the phospholipid bilayer. It's the phospholipid bilayer, right? Lipids are also how we store fat. So lipids are the macromolecules which allow us to store energy in the form of fat. So our last macromolecule that I'm going to talk about, because it's the last one we have, are carbohydrates. So the monomers of carbohydrates are called monosaccharides. And if we are talking about a big carb, right? That's going to be a polysaccharide. And carbs are special because there's actually one more category for them, and that is a disaccharide. And if you guys know what di means from taking a foreign language, it means two. So there are two monosaccharides that are put together. An example of this is lactose. Okay? An example of a monomer of a monosaccharide would be glucose. And there are many, many, many examples of polysaccharides, but one that comes to mind is glycogen. And what do we need carbohydrates for? Well, glucose is what's made in photosynthesis, right? So made by photosynthesis. So we then, and what is so important about that photosynthesis? Well, photosynthesis is making energy. So we use glucose to harness energy and to use it in our cells. And in order for us to harness energy, it has to be in this monomer form. So polysaccharides are typically used to store energy, but they don't store as much energy as lipids, so they're not as effective. They're still considered short-term energy, whereas your lipid fat is long-term energy. But yeah, so that is the central dogma and a macromolecule review.